Hi, I'm Jen Mack, owner of One Ultimate Health and One Retreat for Women, and today we're talking about our relationship retreat, and we're talking about the second workshop and how we can build our relationships and make them deeper and more meaningful. And I have two sets of tools that I use regularly in my life to increase and deepen and improve any relationship, from working relationships to my son, to my family, and to my partner. These tools have changed my life. I told you in the last video that I had a very frustrating first half of my life. Was very frustrating. I was very negative. I had a victim mentality. I did not have a lot of close relationships. I certainly did not have any healthy partnerships. I hated life. I was very, very frustrated. And with these two tools, from the 5 love languages to the ones I'm going to share with you today, I have to tell you, my life has completely transformed in what seemed like overnight. When you start to communicate your love to somebody else, they respond. Love is extremely powerful. Matter of fact, it is the most powerful, not even an emotion, but it's a power. And if it's used correctly, you're limitless. And your life becomes joyful. And I almost want to say triumphant right there, but really you feel just on top of the world. You succeed. You have to have relationships in your life, right? You have to. So wouldn't you rather them be good and healthy and fun and exciting and inspirational? Yeah, my coworkers, my boss, my kids, right? So I worked at a school, it was in the year 2000, and the school was based on choice theory, and it's a book written by Dr. William Glasser, and it is not a theory, it is factual. And I have to tell you, because it works immediately with anybody. And it's kind of a psychology, if you will, but it's, well, let's just get into it. Again, I have a PDF. Oh, so working at the school is built on this choice theory, and it's called a quality school, and it's built on relationships. It was the administration to the teacher to the students, the teacher to the parents, and teaching the kids to have better relationships with each other. What's better than that, especially in a school system? You would never set foot in a better school than Grand Traverse Academy. Now, I worked there, so I'm pretty biased, but to go from a public school, from where my son goes to school, to go to this school, it's like Pleasantville. It is a joy. The kids, how they interact with you. It is quite incredible. If you ever get a chance, please go visit. It's in Traverse City, Michigan. Okay, so let's get to it. This is Dr. William Glasser's, they're called the 5 basic needs. And I created a nice, colorful PDF for you. We're going to talk about them just like we did in the other video. We're going to talk about them, we're going to give some examples, and then we're going to figure out what your basic needs are. You're going to pick up your top 3 relationships. You're going to figure out what maybe those basic needs are, and then you're going to start to blend this relationship together, okay? Now, aside from the 5 love languages, the 5 basic needs, when you use these tools together, you are dangerous, but you're dangerous in a good way. When you use these tools together, you can increase and deepen all of your relationships, right? And these, according to Dr. Glasser, these are innate. These don't change for your entire life. The 5 love languages, I think, if I were to look back, like I'm in my 20s, my love languages might have been a little bit different then, but they're certainly different now than they were 20 years ago. A little bit. There's some changes, but it's still pretty close. The numbers are still pretty close. This one, I feel like my numbers are the same from when 20 years ago. So I would have to agree with him that these are like part of your DNA, something that you cannot change. So I'm gonna tell you what they are. What I also did was give you the PDF of the handprint to kind of show you, to help you remember them a little bit better. Okay, so the first one is survival, hitchhiking. Power, freedom is flying the middle finger. Love and belonging is your ring finger, and fun is your pinky. Okay, so let's go through them. Love and belonging is a sense of just that. It's belonging to something or someone. The girl who's like, I have got to get married. I can't wait to get married. I have to have a family. She probably has a sense of, she probably has a high love and belonging need. She wants to belong to a family. It's also the person who's out running in the community that is a part of other community activities and functions. They are the ones who lead school functions. They are out volunteering for different organizations out in your community, but they're also leading them. They're a part of them, but they might be, well, I guess that they would be leading them, but they're definitely wholeheartedly involved. Okay? They also want to be respected. They have lots of friends, and they like to share things about themselves, share their lives with other people, and also a sense of cooperation and teamwork. Okay? The next one, power. Now this one can go both ways. This one can be a very good thing, and it can be kind of a not so good thing. But this is someone who's a leader. They are recognized. They're successful. They go after achievements. They're constantly learning, changing, adapting, improving. They have a high need to be recognized. They're on stage. They're in front of a video camera. They are teachers, lawyers, judges, maybe principals, high CEOs. Those are high power needs. Okay? The next one, fun. Now this one, I figured, this is someone who's got to be center of attention. They have to be constantly doing something. They have to be involved, but laughing. Now it is all those things, but the one that caught me off guard was a high need to learn. And that desire for change. They see something in themselves that is not quite right, and they have to fix it. They have to change it. They have to learn something new. I almost want to say they'd be the problem solvers, but I'm not sure if it's they are going after change as much as they like change, because it keeps things fresh. Have you ever heard of a Montessori school where kids can kind of learn anything they want? They learn at their own pace, but they get to choose the subjects. That would be a fun environment. I don't mean that would be a fun environment. I just mean that would be fit a high fun need, that they get to choose what they want, but they're constantly learning new things, but at their own speed. Okay? And lots of laughter, lots of activities. Survival. This is someone who's very concerned about their health. This is someone who's working out the gym, they eat right, they're taking care of their bodies, but also it's surviving as in shelter, food, warmth, water, and one other thing that you may or may not think would be a part of this is money. They have to have money in the bank. They have to have a 401k. They have life insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, dog insurance. They have insurance. They have a safety deposit box. They have a fire safe in their house or in their neighbor's house, because in case their house burns down in the fire. So they're the ones who are going to be digging the bomb shelter. They're the ones who buy all the canned foods to stock up the shelter. High survival need. Surviving of themselves, but also surviving of their legend. So they usually have kids. They have families. They have kids. They have to protect their last name. They're leaving a legend behind. Typically, unfortunately, though, they're not very big into taking risks. That makes them nervous. They don't always go outside. These are people that like to spend the time inside, because something could happen if I'm out there. They may not travel. They may not fly. They certainly may not fly overseas. They are a little bit cautious. They tend to worry. They may not do certain things because they could get hurt. Something could happen to them or happen to someone else. They're not going to spend a lot of money on things because it empties their bank account. Okay, you kind of see what I mean. A good thing that, you know, they're saving for the future. They're usually pretty educated because they have to stay ahead and make sure they survive financially. They're pretty good studiers. Keep their jobs. They will study and kind of stay at the top of their game. If they have a high power need, they will even become achievers and extremely successful. Okay? And the last one is freedom. High freedom need is a high need for independence, choices. They need to be able to do what they want when they want. Freedom from the alarm clock or bosses, coworkers. Freedom to do what they want. Freedom to go on vacation when they want to. Freedom. These people may be alone. They may not have families because they feel tied down with kids. They may not have a husband or a wife because, again, they feel tied down. It just depends on their ambition and what their other needs are that make up their entire personality. They may be tremendously successful. Now, again, they could also be a drifter. They could also be someone who just hitchhikes. They don't have a high survival need. They'll hitchhike. And they may just, you know, they don't care about living in a tent out in the backwoods. If they have a high freedom need and a high power need, they may be completely independently wealthy. And independently wealthy, meaning that they don't have a family to give that money to. They may donate it. If you have a combination of those two things, they could very well be rich and wealthy and on stage and in front of the camera and not have anyone to share the rest of that life with. But if they don't have a love and belonging need, then that doesn't matter to them. Okay, so now what I want to do is the same thing that we did with the 5 love languages, is I want you to, on a scale from 0 to 5, I want you to rate yourself across all 5 of these. So take love and belonging, take your power need, fun, survival, and freedom, and rate them, okay, from 0 to 5. So do that right now. What is your love and belonging need? Do you have a sense of belonging? Do you have to be a part of the community? Do you have to be a part of groups? If there's a get-together or a party, do you have to go? You have to go. You have to be a part of that. That's a high love and belonging need. You would rate that as a 5. High power need. Are you constantly achieving? Are you constantly looking for success and recognition? Do you need to be in front of the camera? Do you need to be on stage? Do you need to be doing something that is going to change the world? That's a high power need. You can figure out what mine is. How about fun? Do you laugh a lot? Do you look for ways to have fun? Are you active out it could be having fun by yourself. Do you love learning and changing and growing? Survival need. Are you a 0? Where are you from a 0 to a 5? Do you have money put away? Do you not take risks? Do you make sure to stay in the house? Do you put when you put sunscreen on, is it a 50? You know, or making sure you're protecting yourself from the sun, okay? And a high freedom need. What is that on a scale from 0 to 5? Do you love your choices and your independence? Do you look for ways to be away from rules or regulations or people telling you what to do? So after you rate yourself, now again, how do we use this in a relationship? How do my needs matter? So let's take someone with a high freedom need and someone with a high survival need, or a high love and belonging need. You put these two together and you have a little bit of an argument, brewing, I would say. So you have someone with a high freedom need. They don't want to be tied down. They don't want to be dependent on anybody else, nor do they want to be dependent on, because that ties them down. You have someone with a high love and belonging need and or a high survival need, you might be bashing heads here. So the person with the freedom need says, let's go on vacation. I want to do anything I want. I want to go wherever I want, and I want to go today. And the person with the high survival need says, yeah, but we probably shouldn't spend that kind of money on vacation because it's going to empty the savings account, and then what if something happens to the car? So you can see where there might be, this person is trying to get this need met, this person is trying to get this need met, and they're not collaborating together. So how do you meet? How do you compromise? Now remember, relationships take communication. Just like in the 5 love languages, you have to be able to communicate your needs, your wants, your desires with the person that you love, no matter who the person is. If it's your kids, they have a high love and belonging need, and you're like, get off of me. There could be some communication there that says, you know what? Mommy needs her space. Come and give me a hug and a kiss, and then why don't we sit by each other and I'll read some books to you. Or I'm working on my laptop and you can play with your Nintendo game system, and we will sit by each other. And maybe you sit with your arm around them. So there's some independence. They're getting their need met and you're getting your needs met. Okay? So once you figure out what yours are, the next step is to try to figure out what the person is that you love, what their need is. Now, you could just go and ask them, just like in the 5 love languages. You could ask them, here's this paper, see if you can figure out what yours are. The more you communicate, the better. But sometimes I feel like if you try to figure it out and put it all together, that it almost makes it a little bit more fun. So you probably could rate your partners, or if you pick your top 3 relationships and you say, okay, I'm having a struggle with these relationships, what are their needs? Well, my son comes to me and constantly is like, when do we eat next? When can I eat? I'm hungry. Now, this isn't true, but let's say an example. It's 5 o'clock. Are we going to eat soon? Well, I wasn't hungry. I was going to make dinner at 6. Oh, okay. Well, can I have something to eat right now? Is he hungry, or is his survival need kicking in? Now, I am one to work. I can work for hours and hours and hours, putting videos together, meeting with people, building my website, doing all kinds of things, working on this kind of stuff, my PDFs for retreats or my speaking engagements. But I don't have to eat all the time. So what is my survival need? It's probably pretty low, because, oh, it's noon, time for lunch. I'm like, oh, it's 3:30 and I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. So mine is a power need and a freedom need. Freedom from the clock. Freedom from dependency. Freedom from the alarm clock. Freedom from someone telling me when to eat, how to eat, where to eat. Okay? You can't eat out there. You have to eat in the break room. You can't eat at 11:30. You have to eat at noon. What if I'm hungry at 11:30? What if I'm not hungry at all? You have to take your break. Okay, that interferes with my freedom need. Now, Dr. Glasser says that we only behave to get one of these needs or a couple of these needs met. I stay out of relationships because I have a high freedom need. I don't want to be tied down. I'm not a mother of 12 kids because I have a high freedom need. I don't want to be tied down. I have a high power need, so I have to, if I'm going to have a partner, I have to be with someone who can help me with that, we can communicate that power need. So I can be, sometimes I come across as being a dominant personality. So I can't be with someone who has a dominant personality because we butt heads. Or we have to communicate effectively to make sure that the relationship works. So go today, find out what yours, take your top 3 relationships, find out what theirs are, and start to build that relationship together. Use the 5 love languages, use the 5 basic needs, and bring your relationships to an incredible level. Deepen them and love them, because you're going to be with them for the rest of your life. You're going to have relationships every day. Every day you can meet somebody new, you can have a new relationship anytime, and you can build the one that you have. And I can guarantee you, if you put these tools together, you use the 5 love languages and the 5 basic needs, and you put them together, your relationships are going to soar through the roof. So go out today, inspire those around you, influence everyone you can, and make an impact on the world. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget your PDFs.